Hello, my miraculous friend, and welcome to another episode of the Magnify Your Miracles podcast. I am Reverend Francis Faden, and I'm so grateful that we get to spend this time together helping you magnify your miracles. Today, I'm going to be talking about a fascinating topic. Did Mother Mary have a coach? Kind of a weird thing to think about, right? But I'm going to share this story with you, and I'm going to show you something that you might not have known about the Christmas story and about Mother Mary and her journey and what happened. So I'm so excited to share this with you. Please take a breath with me before we get into all of that. Let's just get ourselves grounded and centered. If you're driving, please keep your eyes on the road. Okay, and as we are taking this breath, what we're doing is we're connecting in with the divine presence within us and enabling us to really receive the power of today's message. So knowing that whatever you need to hear to magnify your miracles is exactly what you're going to be hearing. Let's take one more deep breath together in gratitude, and we can begin. All right, my friend. Well, what an interesting topic. Did Mother Mary have a coach? Kind of an interesting thing to ask, isn't it? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how this question came to me. I was working with one of my clients last week, and I am recording this in December of 23. So I'm still in the Christmas vibration. I'm still in that energy of that story, even though this is going to come out when you're probably not in that energy anymore. But that's okay because the topic is still, it's applies all year round. And anyway, I was working with this client of mine who is really stepping into becoming a spiritual coach. She actually already is one. She's really helping her to step into it and believe it and giving her the practical tools of, how she can put herself out there and make money and all of that. So in the process of doing that, one of the things I do when I work with people is I work with them, one-on-one, you and I talk, and then I check your energy, see what is your energy want to tell me, and then I channel Mother Mary or whoever your guides are. And that's what makes it so amazing and so individual is everybody's different, right? So you and I talk, so your insight, my insight, we'll be talking. Then I talk to your energy. Your energy is going to tell us all kinds of things that are not you and I are not aware of at our conscious mind level. And then we bring in the highest energy that we can. And that gives us really this different bird's eye view of the whole thing and can bring in things that we never would have thought of, which is why I'm so grateful to be able to do this kind of work that to me, it's like spiritual coaching, the kind that I do, energy coaching. It's the coolest thing. I just think it's so amazing. Anyway, I was working with this client and Mother Mary gave her this amazing guidance, showing her how she herself had her own coaching experience. And the story that she shared was going to see Saint Elizabeth. Now, for those of you who don't know the story, Archangel Gabriel came to Mother Mary. Mother Mary's 14 or so, and gave her this, what Mother Mary calls the invitation, said, God has this great plan. And would you like to be part of this plan? And at first, Mother Mary's like, how is that possible? Like, she wasn't really sure. Gabriel explains a little bit more to her. She's like, oh, that sounds amazing. And she says yes. Right. And then the next thing we know, Mother Mary goes to see St. Elizabeth because St. Elizabeth is already expecting a baby quite miraculously because she's much advanced in years. And Gabriel says to her, your cousin Elizabeth already 6 months pregnant. Like she knows. And so Mother Mary goes to see her cousin Elizabeth, who's older than her. And upon that meeting, St. Elizabeth ends up saying that she mirrors to her and she says to her, here, how is it possible that the mother of the Lord has come to see me? And she is basically holding this mirror up to Mother Mary of like who she is and what she's about. And so as I was telling my client this story, I was like, oh, St. Elizabeth is like the first coach. She's like the first coach. She was able to mirror to Mother Mary something that up until that point, she could not quite articulate for herself. So after she has this encounter with St. Elizabeth, that's when she says her beautiful prayer, the Magnificat, where she says, my soul magnifies the Lord and my spirit rejoices, and on that beautiful poem that she says about all the changes that are going to happen, and that she's helping to herald in this time of change and all of that. So here's what's so cool about that. This is when you know you have a good coach. When Mother Mary gets this news, notice who she does not talk to. She does not go to St. Joseph first, who is her fiance at that point, because he would have not been somebody that had a lot of faith, even when she does go back and tell him he has his own doubts and his own struggles. So rule number one is, when you're looking to change your life, do not talk to the people around you that are not in miracle consciousness. They might love you to pieces. And I say this all the time when I'm doing miracle meetings with potential clients. I'm like, what support do you have now? Oh, my husband, my wife, my kids. Like, yeah, they love you, but do they have miracle consciousness? Are they right now experiencing a miracle of their own? It doesn't mean that they can't love you and support you in it, but can they share it with you? Usually the answer is no. It's a rarity that someone's like, oh yeah, my partner's right there with me. So Mother Mary is in the same situation where she's like, don't know that I can talk to him. I'm going to go and talk to somebody else who's already experiencing a miracle. Now, this is so important, my friends. When you are looking for help, and I sincerely hope in this new year, if you look back on the year and things were not as you'd like them to be, and you want to make some changes, find someone to help you who knows how to go through what you're going through. So if you're wanting to make money as a spiritual coach, you could talk to me. If you're wanting to learn how to do investments in the stock market, you want to talk to somebody that knows how to do that and that has good luck in doing that. If you're wanting to improve your health and lose weight, talk to somebody who has experience with the thing, somebody who's been successful with whatever it is. I see a lot of people putting themselves out there as coaches, which is not necessarily wrong, but you want to make sure that they are able to help you with the thing that you need help with. So, for example, if you need a business coach, don't go to a life coach. If you need a life coach, don't talk to a business coach, that kind of thing. You want to make sure that you're in alignment. So here's Mother Mary. Boom, she's experiencing this miracle. And she's like, oh my God. So she goes to see St. Elizabeth to see for her own eyes, like, he told me that Elizabeth, my cousin, was experiencing this too. I'm going to go. And of course, she stays with her for about 3 months and ends up helping her. And once she's in that first trimester, she goes back to see Joseph, right? But while she's there, St. Elizabeth looks at her. And from the place of miracle consciousness, remember, she's 6 months pregnant. She is 6 months further along the road than Mother Mary. She's not like years and years, 6 months along, right? She's 6 months ahead of her. And yet that made all the difference, because she's like, oh my God, she's already experienced an encounter with an angel. Her husband, we know that part of the story. He didn't believe it. We saw what happened to him. So the moral of the story is, don't go to your spouse. No, I'm just kidding. If we look at this story, the moral of the story is, go to somebody who's in miracle consciousness who can support you from that place of consciousness. St. Elizabeth looks at Mother Mary and she's like, I see you. I see you. It's one of the most profound things that somebody can do for you. And I think one of the reasons that coaching is so popular is because so many of us didn't get this fundamental thing that we needed. Nobody's fault. This isn't about blaming anybody, but kids need somebody to mirror to them. They need someone to look at them and say, oh, I see you. You're a really good artist, or you're really good with animals, or you're really great with math, or you're so musical, or you can figure it out, or I believe in you, or whatever it might be. We need that. And if we don't get that, and those of us who are creative people, highly sensitive, highly creative people, most of us didn't get that, I can say, because let's face it, creativity isn't exactly held in high esteem in the eyes of a lot of parents, because they're thinking like, oh my God, how's my kid going to make money doing that? And so they don't necessarily want to, they don't consciously say that, but on an energy level, I think they have a little bit of fear of that, probably because it was told to them. And the line goes back in terms of where this comes from, right? So if you didn't get that, somebody looking at you and saying, like, I see you, you can do it, I believe in you, just that alone is incredibly healing. So Saint Elizabeth is saying to Mother Mary, oh, I see who you are. You're the mother of God. You are, blessed among women. Like, this is amazing. And she's honored to be there. And she's a witness to her, right? She's like, oh, the baby inside of me just leapt with joy upon you being here. She's witnessing it. She's like, I'm feeling what's going on here. And she's giving her feedback from miracle consciousness, right? Very different than what happens when she talks to Joseph, who is not yet in miracle consciousness. And that's what I believe helps Mother Mary to go, take a deep breath and go, yeah, yeah, my soul does magnify the Lord, and my spirit rejoices. For God looks down at me, and she, like, it hit you. It's like, this is when it really sinks in with Mother Mary, is when she has that interaction with Saint Elizabeth. This is how powerful spiritual coaching is. This is how powerful it is to have somebody in your life that's in your corner from that place of miracle consciousness. So powerful. Now, they can't do it for you. Now, nobody can do it for you, but putting yourself in that energy is one of the most powerful things that you can do to support yourself in whatever your goals and your intentions are in any area of your life. And like I said, if you have goals for different parts of your life, then you go ahead and find somebody to help you with that particular thing. I'm looking forward to having a writing coach in the new year to help me specifically with that. It's an area that I really want to achieve a lot in, and I've had some struggle doing it on my own. It's one of my goals. What's one of your goals? Where could you really use support in your life? Be honest about it. Where have you been struggling? If you look back on your year, what's been good, but what really has not been great? Where have you been like, oh my God, I really wanted this to shift and it still hasn't shifted? It's okay. These things are hard to shift on your own. They just are. So we're wired this way. I don't know why. We could use help from other people. But please, please find somebody who has the ability, especially if you're highly sensitive, somebody who has the ability to really see you and really be with you, whether it's an energy coach like I am, or somebody else who can really see you. So the last thing I want you to do is invest in working with somebody and it doesn't really work for you. Their capacity is really not that great. That's why it's so important to ask for referrals, to look to see what results somebody's gotten for somebody. Have they been able to help them with whatever the thing is? You want to be really discerning when you do this and make sure that you're using your intuition, you're getting a really good feeling about this person. And then you can be like Mother Mary and be like, my soul is really ready to magnify whatever energy I'm here to magnify, to really let the divine work through me. And then after you're done with your first trimester, so to speak, you can go and talk to your husband, talk to your wife, talk to anybody who's not in that miracle consciousness. And I personally believe that Mother Mary had to strengthen herself in so many ways before she had that conversation with Saint Joseph. Not an easy conversation to have. Like, oops, by the way, I had this encounter with an angel, and yeah, there's a baby on the way, not your baby. Kind of a hard conversation to have. And God bless Saint Joseph, but he was like, oh, I don't know about this. I mean, he was a devout man and he was a very righteous person. And he was beside himself. He was like, oh no. And he went to go see, like, what should I do? But according to the law of the time, he would have had to like take her out and have her stoned. I mean, it was terrible. And he couldn't do that because St. Joseph is such a kind-hearted man. And he was like, well, maybe I'm just going to break it off and make it kind of quiet. But still, for Mother Mary to be expecting and to have her fiance break it off would have been the end of things for her. What she did was radical and took a lot of courage. It was really, really brave of her to do that. And then, of course, we know the happy ending of the story is that St. Joseph has a visit in his dreams by an angel. Archangel Gabriel comes to him and says, don't worry, everything she's telling you is true. he gets his insights, and then boom, now he's in miracle consciousness. And now he's like, yep, we're going. And then, of course, we know the rest of the story of what happens, and he continues to be guided in his dreams. So, once he was in that miracle consciousness, then he's able to be that support. But until then, he's not the first person you want to tell, right, about what's going on, because he doesn't have the awareness. It's not his lived experience yet, but it is St. Elizabeth's lived experience. She knows all about it. She's not having any doubts. She's not struggling with anything. Takes him a little while to catch up. It's okay. He does catch up, and he has it in his own way. And I always say, for people that if you really want to start working with your dreams, you want to start understanding your dreams, invite St. Joseph to help you. He's, in my opinion, the patron of understanding your dreams and receiving spiritual messages in your dreams. Such a powerful being. I love him so much. All right, my friends. So, what do you think? Did Mother Mary have a coach? I think she did. Of course, they probably didn't call it that then, but when I look at it now, I'm like, wow, this is how it works. We get this download, we get this amazing experience. We might even say yes. And then that voice comes in. It's like, did I just make that up? Is this really happening? Like, what's really going on? And we need to have that interaction with somebody that's like, oh, yeah, this is going on. This is absolutely going on. One of my favorite things when I work with people, because I work with them on a weekly basis, I'm working with people. I call it in real time. So whenever somebody does something, boom, the next time I see them, I'm looking at their energy. I'm like, something's shifted. What is it? And it's so fun to see how your energy, boom, it changes like that. So whenever I refer a client to go get an angelic attunement with Reverend Jane Howard Feldman, one of the people I recommend for that, and I may or may not know that they've had that. The next time I see them, I'm like, whoa, all these angels in your energy field. What happened? What have you been doing? Oh, I had my angelic attunement. Your energy responds like that. It's amazing what can happen. I have a client of mine who is getting ready to take a little pilgrimage to go to one of a really sacred chapel of Archangel Michael. And all she did was decide that she was going. And then the next week, when I saw her energy, I was like, whoa, Michael is here. Boom, just like that. She hadn't even gone on the pilgrimage yet. And boom, his energy was right there. Spirit responds to you just like that. That's what I'm saying. You want to be having that energy in your life, my friend. So surround yourself with miracle minded people. You can always join the Magnify Your Miracles membership. That's a great way to be around. Every time we meet, we're talking about, so who wants to celebrate a miracle? Who wants to talk about the divine presence showing up in your life? Let's share it so that we can all support each other in recognizing that this is happening every day, all the time. Magnify Your Miracles membership is a perfect place for people to start to really get into that energy. And then the other thing to do is you can work with somebody like me. You can click on a link below and schedule a miracle meeting with me if you want to have someone like St. Elizabeth in your life. So happy to be that for you. So happy to be that for you. Or you find somebody else to be that for you. This is a powerful, powerful thing that you can do for yourself. And I highly recommend that you do it. So I hope I've inspired you today to take some action on your own behalf. You are that energy of Mother Mary. There's something in you ready to come out. Find that Elizabeth vibration. Find someone who's in that miracle consciousness and make sure you stay in that energy. And you will see that you will have a very, very different energy come this time next year. I would love to know what you're going to do, what action you're going to take. Feel free to leave a comment. I answer all the comments myself, and I love, love, love interacting with you. If this resonated with you, feel free to share this with your friends, with your family, on social media, whatever works for you. But always remember, my friend, that the key to magnifying your miracles is knowing that your miracle is already here. God bless you, my friend. Bye-bye.